Hazelnut Hex is a mix of a cute-em-up and a side-scrolling bullet hell shooter, with a hint of spoopiness and breakfast. You heard me right. You play as Nat, the witchy mascot of the Hazelnut Hex breakfast cereal, and with her companion, Sam the squirrel, they're off to stop the curse that has befallen the land and save breakfast. Along the way, she'll meet up with her friends, Millie the Goblin of the Forest, Jules the Medusa, Cass, owner of the Ice Cave, Vivian, a demon of the castle, and Sabine, the Shy Reaper, all who have been cursed because they missed breakfast. Except Vivian. She just doesn't eat breakfast. You'll have to defeat them all to reveal the true culprit and save breakfast once and for all. Silly plot out of the way, the game plays like your typical shoot-em-up, with hordes of spoopy enemies, mini-bosses, and wave upon wave of bullets. The game has 3 different firing modes. Mode A, your standard rapid-fire attack, Mode B, a more straight-shooting arrow-type blast, and finally my favorite, Mode C, your standard spread shot. As you defeat enemies, you'll collect items to power up your firepower, spread range, and hey, Sam is your familiar too. While you'll lose all your power-ups when you die, you actually have 3 hits before death, and the power-ups can be recollected upon continuing. Except Sam, you have to re-find him. Speaking of, this game has unlimited continues, with the only cost being that your points are reset. Oh no, not that. Because points are so important these days in video games. It's almost like the high scores don't matter anyways. You can also shoot a charge shot by not pressing the fire button, and you have 2 screen wiping blasts that can be used in a pinch. Now this game isn't just your standard cute-em-up, because it also has bullet hell elements. Like I mentioned before, you have a couple of shots of a screen wiping blast, which turns all the bullets in its path into point modifiers. So the more you blast, the higher the score. In terms of how it plays, it's similar to bullet hells where the bullets don't actually damage you unless you get hit dead center, meaning you do have some wiggle room to maneuver. The screen can get pretty filled with bullets, so you have to pay attention to where Nat is placed, as well as where they are coming from. I really like the system this game uses. Don't get me wrong, I love R-Type and Gradius, but it's such a pain to get so far only to die and lose all your power-ups. Here, that's not an issue, because they give you a chance to recollect them. I also like how this game focuses more on maneuverability rather than precise dodging like in other bullet hell shooters. I do love me a good bullet hell, but the skill ceiling is sometimes a pain. If you've never played shoot-em-ups or bullet hells, or you're not very good at them, this game is a great way to experience them without feeling like you're struggling. For fans and veterans of these type of games, this is great practice, and losing the points on continuing might incentivize those players to try and get as far as possible without dying. Visually, this game is the definition of eye candy. I love the choice of pastel colors, really giving it the cute-em-up flair. The art style goes for a rough edges approach, making it look like it could have been drawn in pencil crayon, and it looks great. The character designs are very cute and match the art style. As for the enemies, they also look adorable and range from spooky Halloween decorations, to animals and insects, to food and treats. Hell, there's even a dragon mini-boss, and that was fun as hell to play against. The characters themselves are written simplified, but the cutscenes are meant to be short and witty. I love the dialogue in this game, especially when the text is highlighted in yellow, which usually turns out to be an advertisement for Nat's cereal. This game is just oozing with personality. Nat even rides on a magic spoon instead of a magic broom. That's adorable. The music is so good. It was done by the developer's in-house band, and it's fantastic. There isn't really all that much voice acting, but for what there is, it's great. The sound design is also really well done. It does use some generic sound-like, but actually really isn't video game sounds, but for the most part, it doesn't distract from the game. Hazelnut Hex is a great game to pick up and play. It's short, you can beat it in under an hour, but that's not a hit against it at all. The low barrier to entry also makes it great for gamers of all types. Hazelnut Hex is available on both PC via itch.io and Nintendo Switch, which is the version I played. If you need a good time waster while the trick-or-treaters are coming by this Halloween, you can't go wrong with Hazelnut Hex. This has been Zero. Thanks for watching.
Face it, breakfast is ruined.